Hey guys, I just filmed this really fun winter tutorial. I was gonna say Christmas, but if you guys want to learn how to do this look, keep on watching. So today we're doing a smoky eye tutorial. Usually when you're new to makeup and you're starting out, it tends to be a little easier if you start with your eyes first. I did just cleanse my skin, so it's a little bit red and a little bit irritated, as are my eyes. My skin is really sensitive, so all of this redness will go away, but I just thought I'd jump into the video anyways. This is what I really look like. This is real life, so there you go. I'm gonna start by priming my eyelid, and I'm using soft ochre paint pot, and I just use my finger. So moving right in with my transitions shade first. I'm using an oldie but a goodie. It's Uninterrupted, one of my favorite colors of all time and life. Hold your brush down here at the end and use very light pressure. So choking up on it like this, you're gonna get a ton of powder on your lid and you're gonna look like baby poop all over your eyelid. If you're going down here, it's just gonna be a nice soft transition color. I start in the center and I literally just rock it back and forth right into my socket. Now with my eye open, it looks kind of crazy, but that's where I want it. I want it right into that socket and then blend almost up into my brow bone. So I'm blending it outwards and inwards. So that's what that looks like. And usually with any smoky eye, when you're in the midst of, you know, trying to attain that beautiful smoked out appearance, you're going to look crazy. So don't give up in the middle of it. Blend, 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 keep on blending, and then when you're done blending, how about you blend a little bit more, because it ends up looking beautiful if you just diffuse all the colors and really marry them together. I'm using this really deep kind of clay brown color, and I'm just packing it on one side of my fluffy brush, and that's going directly flat onto my eyelid right underneath that transition color. So packing it on right underneath, and then same kind of motions as you were doing blending it out. Just don't be as aggressive, because we want that color to kind of stay put, and we want our transition color to stay right above it so it looks like it's marrying into each other. Any white haired brushes like this are very porous and absorbent, so I just take a clean brush like this, and then keeping my brush kind of flat against my eyelid, I'm just going to blend that color back and forth in small little circular motions. Again, holding it down near the bottom, so I'm not really taking all of that color off my eyelid. Going back to the same brush I was using before, my dirty brush, and one side has the red on it, the other side is naked, and I'm going in with just a muddy chocolate. Then we're gonna do packing motions just on that outer corner, and we're going to bleed it from lash line all the way up to that crease line. So we're creating some depth in that outside corner. And use your clean brush once again, and I'm blending it inwards instead of outwards, but if you have like a nice feline cat-shaped eye or almond-shaped eyes, blend that sucker out. It's going to be very accentuating and like really draw that eye outwards. If I do that on my eyes, it just makes me look like my eyes are even more downturned. So I try not to blend too far out. Okay, so that's the eyeshadow pretty much done. Now I'm going to put on some foundation. I'm using a mixture of two foundations. I love Face and Body. I'm a diehard Face and Body fan. I've worn it for years. Medium coverage if you blend it in with your hands. So I'm mixing N3 and C1 together. Pretty fair right now, but I am olive complected, so I tend to stick more towards the yellow, more mustardy tones. But I did recently go on vacation, so I got a little bit of tan, so I'm using a little bit of N3 just to deepen it up a little bit. Something about this product is it's water-based, so if you rub it together and really emulsify it in your hands, you're going to make it oxidize quicker, which is when we're blending with a brush, that's what you're doing. You're oxidizing your makeup, you're really blending it and making it look soft focused and airbrushed. Well, that's what you do if you blend it in with your hands. You warm it up really quick, and then I press it onto my skin. And really blend it in like I'm putting on lotion. This technique really works for me. It may not work for everybody, but if you have a dry skin or you're in a dry climate and you want a dewy finish, this foundation will give that to you. And if you build it up with your hands, you get more of a medium coverage. Guys, so my camera is being stupid and you didn't get to see my eyebrows whatsoever, but I did apply eyebrows. I used the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color medium brown. And then I also used Coquette eyeshadow from MAC. Very cool and ashy and not red whatsoever. So I do absolutely love that. These are my eyebrows up close. You can kind of see that they look like textured and like I have eyebrows, which I don't. You clearly saw earlier in the video that I absolutely have no eyebrows. So, and towards the inner corner, I actually keep a straight line as opposed to going right up in. I like to keep that inner corner a little bit more open, like I said earlier, so the focus of the color on top and bottom is right in the center. Then I'm going to go in with the darker colors I used and just layer them on exactly how I did before. I'm going in with that red, brown clay color. And each time I put a new color on, I'm bringing it closer and closer to the lash line so that my colors look diffused just like they do on the top. Now I'm going to go in on the tear duct with a highlight color, and it's actually the same highlight color that I use on my face. It's from the Becca Cosmetics trio. So I'm just taking a small little detailer brush and I'm going to touch down into Pearl and Champagne Pop both. And I'm just going to place that right onto the tear duct area. And I just do a few dots. Less is more with this product, so I don't use that much. I just use a little bit. To immediately set my under eye, I'm using Select Sheer Loose Powder. Any loose powder will do. You just want one that's really finely milled. So you don't want one that says matte on it, or you don't want one that's like a foundation powder. And I'm not necessarily baking, but I am just going to press the powder right into the concealer underneath my eyes. I'm using the Shade and Light palette to do my sculpting. Sigma F88 flat brush, and I'm using the lightest color to sculpt out my cheekbones. And I start right at my ear and bring it forward, and then I curve it up to really anchor around my cheekbones, because when I smile I have a great big ball. Then I blend that out with a big fluffy brush and I do circular motions going up into my hairline. And I'm making sure the brush is choked up and really getting in there and blending that out so I don't have a line on my face. So I do highlight now, and I am using the Becca highlighting palette, a little bit of both. I press it and then swipe it. A little bit on my nose, down the center, on my Cupid's bow. And actually my favorite place to highlight is right above my brow bone. Again, I have downturned eyes, so I really want my eyes to seem like they're up and lifted and anchored at my brow bone. So I'm using a blush that in the pan seems really quite bright. It's called Devil, but it gives a nice warmth to the skin. So how I do it is I use my blush brush and I press it onto my cheeks into that contour. And then I always take a blending brush and just soften it out. I'm going to apply a little wing liner. I am using the Trooper Ink Liner by Kat Von D, and honestly, this is my jam. I am in love with this guy. I just absolutely adore this liner. It's everything in the whole wide world. I don't know how I lived without it, and I probably will die if I ever lose it. So I'm using this. Again, I'm starting in the center of my eye and creating a nice round shape and then creating a really small flick on the outside corner. So I'm going to get really close to the mirror and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So for my flick, I actually follow the shadow that's underneath my eye, and that's where my line goes. If I were to do it starting at my lash line, it would just look like it was bent in half and disappear. So there is the wing liner done. I'm gonna do this eye. Okay guys, I'm back and I'm gonna use current lip liner. Liner done. I'm gonna go in with the lipstick, fill in the whole lip. We're on to mascara, and you can apply false lashes as well, but I'm just gonna put mascara on and the look will be done.